Welcome to Breaking Character. If you're seeing this, that means one of us got arrested. It's your guess who? No, I'm just kidding with you. We had some scheduling difficulties probably tonight. And so this is a pre-recorded episode we've done in advance so that you don't miss out on the content. And also you get some interesting extra stories. Tonight we are doing Rimita in the Ring. It is a prequel episode where we delve into Rimita's backstory and her time in fighting groups in Warfburg. Rimita is part of the Warfburg Ultimate Fighting Federation, Woof. And so they are working their way up in the ring. It's about 50 years previous to our campaign right now. Rimita has been in Woof for a little bit of time, but not a ton. They're a newcomer. They're not the newest. That's held by another, but they are a newcomer. We are using the Worldwide Wrestling System, 2nd edition. It's an awesome system built for this type of game. I mean, it's built for wrestling, not fighting, but honestly, they're pretty close. They're surprisingly close. The game is by Nathan D. Paoletta. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I apologize, but it's a great game. So far, I've enjoyed delving into it very much. My players seem very excited. But we're going to get into it tonight. So, Bright, do you want to tell us who you are in the ring tonight?
Yeah, in the ring tonight, I am Hawk the Downsizer. I am a halfling heel or villain bad guy in the ring, and I am up and coming in this, and I'm going to kill the competition tonight.
Hell yeah, downsize them all the way. Blood, who you bring into the fight?
I am Enzo Lee Sr. Not per se a fighter, more of a enhancer. There's no one out there who'll be able to take down my boys. You'll be fine.
Nah, you run the baddest crew in the promotion. Absolutely. And each of our characters do have relationships with the other. There's backstory going on already here. We do have, of course, Enzo's main client, not their only client, but their main client is Gabriel, the fallen angel. Current bad boy and self-proclaimed champion of the league. Before we get too much into some of the other characters we've got, Darkness, what's going on with you?
Granny's back and younger than ever. Back before heartache and heartbreak and too much death. Prime of her life. She fighting.
Hell yeah, she is.
Everyone's going down. Everyone.
And we know that Granny has a stage name at this point, right?
Yes. Granny's stage name is based off of, kind of goes hand in hand with her wife being a florist. And she is called Hemlock. And
amazing.
I just exited out of the wrong thing.
And remind me, Rimita's wife, what is her name again?
Mira.
Mira. Love that. So, we have, of course, Mira rooting on from the sidelines. We have a few other players that aren't played by our player characters. They're played by yours truly, because I get to be 80 people. It's the best part. So also fighting tonight, at the minimum, we could always add characters as we go, but these are characters we know that we have booked tonight. We have Gina the Stapler, an anti-hero, bad mamma jamma that Enzo calls in as a bruiser. We have Bree Gun Show Walker, who's a hard-working fighter, just trying to make their way up the ranks and not having a good time of it. They're a babyface. We have, of course, Gabriel, the fallen angel, who I mentioned earlier. And then we have the champion whom Gabriel may or may not have had beef with, may still have beef with. Aiden Wynn, the provocateur, current official champion of Woof. And then, of course, the entire Woof organization would be nothing if not headed up by their fearless dwarven leader, Sasha Sanchez. So, now, before we get into our first episode, let's delve into what happened last time on Woof. Which one of you wants to show us a little vignette of our last episode of Woof?
I can give a little.
Yeah, what happened?
I can give a little. And we're talking how Gabriel absolutely destroyed Aiden, correct?
That's got to be in here somewhere. Absolutely. But what led up to that? Can you help me talk through what did Enzo do to ignite this fire?
Very easily put, Gabriel deserves to be the best. And the best wears the belt. He knows this, I know this. Aiden just needs a little bit more convincing. And Sasha needs to get out of the way.
And that is a clip of an interview with Enzo from last episode. Now, let's take off to another character's vignette. Bright Darkness, what do you got?
I guess I'll go next. Hawk is absolutely just in the ring after a fight, you know, like the one right before this one where he just absolutely tore down his opponent, you know, with his hoverboard maneuver that he does. And as he comes up to the camera in the ring, he just goes, "It's time to bring these old timers down. We need to get some new faces, new scene up in here. This is ridiculous. We gotta bring it up. We gotta call up the new ones. And I'm gonna be there."
So, a little bit of backstory for those who may not have tuned in last episode. Hawk, that was Hawk's first fight against Gina the Stapler. And as this interview is going on, you can actually see some of the goons, some of the Enzo's workers in the background, hauling Gina unconscious out of the ring. Darkness, what happened last week with Rimita?
So, I came in, I fought. I'm here to have fun. The match was not easy. You know, being older than most of the people here, they have a little bit more energy than I do, but I would say I held my own. But I can't believe the blatant cheating people have been doing. Like, there's a set of rules. We need to follow them. We shouldn't be getting hurt that bad.
While this is going on, there is footage, I think, of Enzo sneaking into the ringside and handing weapons to another fighter. And Rimita gets absolutely thwacked by a chair at one point. And at another point, you see one of Enzo's goons take a pat of butter and swipe it on the ring underneath another fighter, and that fighter takes a tumble, and then their aligned heel absolutely clobbers them once they've taken that tumble. And then finally, it all builds up to this. And you see the massive Gabriel the Fallen Angel, the half-orc, who is insanely big and insanely built. They're very scarred, and you can see a little bit of a blood coming down out of their mouth. as they do this, sort of classic lick it off their finger type thing. And they turn around and jump into the ring, and then we cut to the end, and they're holding the previous champion above their heads. And then they absolutely, I think, grab them, and I want to say
Breaker.
drop them on the knee, right? I think they've
Backbreaker.
actually,
Absolutely a backbreaker.
It's slightly off. It's not really a backbreaker, but it is that type of a thing where they're just busting the champion over their leg. And the refs come running in, and Gabriel is disqualified, meaning that Aiden officially retains the championship because you can't be beaten by somebody who's been disqualified. But
Enzo is arguing the entire
Absolutely.
way.
Yeah, Enzo is up in the ref's face. And we
The
fade
hell
out.
you mean disqualified?
And that's, I think, where we fade out. And we jump in once again to Enzo. This time, Enzo, I think, has cornered Sasha Sanchez somewhere back in the halls. This week's fight is in Wolfburg Ironworks. So somewhere back in betwixt the machinery of Wolfburg Ironworks, Enzo has cornered Sasha, and is absolutely laying into them.
There is absolutely nothing in the rules disqualifying that move.
There's nothing in the rules. I wrote the damn rules.
Then you should know. That move's been used dozens of times before. Just because it was a little off, he gets disqualified.
Look, if you and your folk keep injuring my fighters, you're gonna have to be right out of this here league. All right? You cannot come in here and think you own this place. All right? Not everybody here is a little doll that you can play with, throw money at, puppeteer around. That's not what this league is. This league has integrity. All right? We're not out here breaking people for fun.
It wasn't for fun, and you know it. Yeah, it was a minor mistake, but it shouldn't
no
cost
way.
Gabriel the championship.
I was ringside. I saw Gabriel's face. It was for fun. They already had basically won. All they had to do was set him down and pin him. It was theirs.
The quickest way down. Drop him. So his knee got in the way.
Oh, his knee got in the way, just like
He was
the last
taking a knee.
champion fell down the goddamn stairs. A chair got in their way. Wild how things keep getting in the way.
Maybe people should watch where they're going every once in a while.
Maybe
It's
you
not
should
on
watch-
me.
Maybe you should watch where you're going. And I
We
think,
both know my boy can take on anyone in this ring.
well, you better be willing to prove that. And I think that's when our vignette cuts away. All right. Our
Beef.
first,
Cooking.
our first beef is ready to go. So we are actually going to swap over to our interview for Fight 1. You come in to a always flexing half elf. It's the gun show. Bree Walker. All right, coming up. Heat in the ring, hot everywhere else. All right. Nobody comes here for the show, okay? And you know what? There is an interview Mike put in there. They've been asked about. They're scheduled for the first match of the day, up against. Look, I have all this written down, but sometimes we forget.
Hawk.
Up against Hawk. Yeah. Up against Hawk. Look, Hawk and I go way back. All right. And I can say they're a good fighter. But you know what? They don't have a bulletproof vest. And they better. Because they're walking into the gun show. And they're going to try to cut a promo. They're absolutely going to try to cut a promo with this. To try and gain some audience heat, some momentum going on here. So let's go ahead. I believe that this is probably, and I haven't even looked at this character's stats, I'm not gonna lie to you. So hopefully this is something they're good at. But I'm thinking that they're gonna, I think they might use body, right? It'll either be body or look, probably whichever they're better at, based on the musculature, right? Oh, neither. Cool.
I feel like that's body that's a body thing, because
Yeah,
their whole thing is the gun show.
I think they've got a +1 to body here. Ooh, and that's not good. That is a botch. That's a failure on the roll. To give you guys an idea, the way this game is powered by the Apocalypse, or it uses the same type of system, which means 2d6s, right? If you roll a 6 or below with your modifiers, you botch the roll, you fail. If you roll a 7 to a 9, you kind of succeed. If you roll a 10 plus, you succeed. Now, success is measured relatively, so sometimes you will succeed when you botch, but you won't like the consequences. Right? There are things that will happen when you botch that aren't good. So, you know what? That was cut a promo, and on a botch there. Actually, on cut a promo, I'm supposed to roll look. It's still a failure though. So on a botch, it does not connect, and I gain +1 momentum, which I can use later on to maybe modify one of those rolls if I'm just close to succeeding. So, their promo does not land with the audience, and we turn the screens on. All of this fade out, and the gun show is standing currently in the ring, and the announcer turns on. It says, "Now entering Hawk." So, Downsizer, Hawk. What are we talking ring entrance? What are we seeing here?
So what you guys see is the tunnels there. You know, you do your entry, you walk up. Downsizer doesn't walk anywhere like that. Nah, he's got his hoverboard and he's zooming in, and as soon as he sees the gun show, whatever, Mick does a lap around him, and as he does that, he kind of jeers to the crowd and he goes, "Yeah, we're gonna bring this guy down a size." And then as they go up to the gun show, they're gonna have 2 fake tickets that say "the gun show," light them on fire.
Heck yeah, I love it. The camera gets a close up as you let it burn down to your fingertips and then blow it out.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love that. That does sound like cut a promo. That sounds like you're either cutting a promo or you're doing cheap heat. But it felt like that was a little bit more artistic. So
Yeah.
We're going to say cut a promo, I think.
All right, and that's look, right?
Yes.
That is a 7.
Oh, that is a succeed.
I think that just succeeds.
That just succeeds. Woo. Okay, let me double check our stuff here. On a success, you have the audience's attention. pick one of the below. You make the creative, me, book you in a match. You can add a stipulation to a relevant match. This match or a future match you might be in. The other person comes out and responds to your promo, or you can gain 1 heat with the subject of your promo. If you gain 4 heat with somebody in a match, you get some bonuses. So,
Okay. I'm gonna say, let's add a stipulation
okay,
to a relevant match.
What are you stipulating?
Oh, and then that's where my logic ends. I genuinely don't know what a stipulation was. It just sounds really cool.
So a stipulation is you get to add a factor to the match, right? So one stipulation could be, this is no longer just a one-on-one fight. This is a tag team fight, or this isn't a fight for the champion, or this isn't just a fight. Now it's a fight for the championship that you hold. I'm taking that from you. Or you could say, this fight, I'm gonna make a stipulation that there are no disqualifications, or right, like you can add basically rules to the fight, or change the structure of the fight. It's a very cool, very strong thing to be able to do.
That opens possibilities.
Absolutely.
I actually like the idea of there are no DQs. Just because I got history with him. I got beef, and I need to make sure that it is done with.
Absolutely.
I want to prove myself.
I think you look at the ref and you say, "Get out of here, I got this." And basically send the ref away. Right? The they try to put a fight with you, and we can role play this out if you'd like. But you fully send them away.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous for you, but could be great. Could be
great. I'm hoping so.
So I think that means that I was gonna have my character start with the momentum, but I do think you've got the momentum, you've got the crowd's attention, so you get to kind of pick how this fight starts.
Okay.
If that's too much, I can help you pitch some things. I know this is you're not usually a wrestling person.
I am not.
But I can help you. The way this game works a lot of times is there is a setup, and you so we're gonna start. Say you want to start by getting in real close and giving a shove, right?
Yeah.
That's a setup, and then I will respond, and then you will get to hit whatever cool move you want to do, whatever you're actually going to roll on.
Okay.
And then whether or not you succeed there, you can give away the momentum, you can keep the momentum, you can do a bunch of different things here. You can use all of your different moves. It depends on what you've got at your disposal on your gimmick sheet, obviously. I don't have all those memorized quite yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. So kind of going through this, I think I'm just gonna start off with hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
There it is.
Okay.
Our reference sheet does actually have common match stipulation moves. So
where
there
is
are some
that?
of those. It is on page 4 of the reference sheet, where it says at the bottom.
Stipulation moves. Okay.
So those are possibles. They're not all of the options. They're just.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Then what I'm gonna do is I kind of want to kind of just just go in and just up to Bree, and it's just like, I hope you're ready for what I'm about to bring to this table. I'm gonna knock you down a peg.
Oh, kid, you know I'm always ready. I've been ready since we were little.
Well, you're gonna stay that way. And I want to do a maneuver to kind of either like to push him away and just start initiating the fight.
Okay. So you give a push.
I guess that would be an athletic feat,
Well, not quite
potentially.
yet. So I'll get a response, and then you can actually make a big move here. A push itself is super commonplace in this game, right?
Yeah.
That happens all the time in wrestling, so that's nothing you need to roll for. But Gunshow is going to stumble back and try to use that momentum to lean against. So we do have the classic wrestling style ropes, because honestly, those are amazing and great.
They're iconic.
They're amazing, right?
Yeah.
So they are going to lean back and actually use the ropes to help launch them forward, trying to take a swing at you. I think this swing is gonna miss, but it's gonna set up what your next move is.
Okay. With a swing that misses.
Technically, it doesn't have to miss. It could connect and set something
Well,
up if that's better for you, but
could I clothesline him?
you absolutely could. Yeah, absolutely. I think a clothesline is a little bit more of a technical move, right? So
Yeah, it's a brawl move. From what I see.
let's see. Okay.
I'm on page 6,
Oh, you're on page.
if that helps.
Oh, gotcha. That's part of the maneuver sequence, the brawl sequence.
I'm trying to
Yeah. The you're absolutely right that's there. Those are optional ways of like starting stuff to roll.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be a little bit harder to have that be
I mean,
a
that's
final.
kind of just like, I'm trying to use like words that will work, because like I do want to clothesline him. If they're gonna come at me with this, I'm just gonna
Absolutely. So what we can do.
Sorry, folks.
is-
I was a swimmer, not a wrestler.
No, you're good. Okay.
I'll be the same way. Don't worry.
So go ahead. I think this is a technical move, right? Because you
Okay.
really do have to like. It's not super technical, but it's also not really body, right?
Okay.
So I think you go ahead and roll work.
Okay. 5 and 3, that's an 8.
Okay. So that is a success. I am going to say, okay, so you are able to clothesline them. The first thing, because you only get to choose really one thing. The first thing you get to choose is whether you would like to stay within narrative control of the fight, or whether you'd like to give that up. The second thing is sort of another bonus, right? If you retain control, you keep going. If you give up control, you can get other bonuses, right? So you can get other things. You can take some momentum, or things like that. So,
Okay. I will stay in the narrative then. I'll relinquish control for that. Just because
you'll
bonuses.
relinquish. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so
Sorry.
you said stay in the narrative, which is close to stay in control of the narrative, which would be what you're giving up. So the jobber is going to take control of the fight for the moment.
Okay.
Let me just double check something. Let me see the gimmicks real quick. So I'm trying to. I think it's part of the gimmicks or the moves that I'm working with. Anyway, because I know something exists, I just am not the best with this system yet. I'm close, but I'm not there yet. So cool. All right. And remind me of the moves that you picked for your call up.
Hungry and reputation.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh. Hey. So you actually I didn't realize this, but you have appeared on camera for the first time this episode.
Yep.
So that means what we can do is we can flashback real quick. If you want to roll plus real,
Okay.
because it's just a free thing you get to do. So,
Okay. So I roll real, and then I get a bonus on that.
whatever your bonus for real is on your character sheet. I don't know.
So I actually have a negative there, but I rolled kind of good. I rolled a 5 and a 4 for 9, -2, so 7.
Okay, so that means there's a vocal minority that have heard of you, and you can either gain momentum equal to your starting momentum, which is very strong right now because I started you all with 2, even though normally you'd start with 1. You can add a stipulation to the match, or you can gain +1 heat with your opponent.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go with the momentum.
Gotcha. Okay, you're up to, I think, 5 momentum now.
Or
Because I think you might get 1 for giving up control. I'm doing a little bit of figuring that out, but
I wrote it in pencil, so either way works with me.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Also, this music bops.
Right?
Look, I'm always gonna have good music. It is from Infraction Music on YouTube. They do some copyright-free music, so thank you, Infraction, for doing that. People who make no money off of their shows like us appreciate that very, very much, because I cannot be paying for 12 songs every episode because I do not have that money. So it's nice.
On top of the fact that it's
Shout out
always
to-
such
shout out
good
to
quality
them.
songs, man.
Yeah.
Right? These songs are bops. I've got a bunch more in my back pocket, so don't worry. You'll hear a few more here. Yeah, okay. Usually I think I think I did that interaction wrong, but we're learning the system,
all right.
so here
Yes,
we
we are.
This is part of playing a new system, is sometimes you look like an idiot in front of the internet, but that's fine. That's fine.
That's why we play Dungeons and Dragons.
Or
no.
Worldwide Wrestling.
or Worldwide Wrestling, or other systems. That are,
That's why we put this online.
And the internet's not that unforgiving.
Exactly. Listen,
Never.
that's why we
Never.
roll for respawn. Because we always get new opportunities to try.
But-
Hey!
Absolutely. Oh, here we go. That's what it was. Roll plus work. There we go. Okay, I found it. On a 7 to 9, you keep their attention. Choose whether to hand control of your. Okay, so I actually did that right. So since you handed control of the match over, you gain +1 momentum. It was on the other page, and I was reading the wrong space. Cool.
That's valid.
So
does that mean I have 6 momentum now?
you have 5. You have 5.
Okay.
The 5 was adding 1. But I just verified that I'd ruled it correctly, just to make sure.
Okay, cool.
That I'm not
No,
putting
you're all
out, bad GMing to the internet here. So, because I learned through an actual play, so if other people want to learn through an actual play, I would like to give you at least somewhat right information here.
Somewhat right.
Somewhat right. I'm a home brewer at heart for everything, so take it loosely.
Yeah.
So the gun show is going to take a moment, and as they're clotheslined, I think they're gonna roll around and actually basically grapple your ankles and get ready to sweep you off your feet. What is your obviously non-massive reaction to that? Are you gonna take the tumble, or are you gonna try to do something against it?
I think I am going to let it happen, because I think I have a move in mind to respond with afterwards.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. So they are, I think, they're gonna sweep you off your feet. I think you're gonna take a tumble here.
Yeah.
And then they're actually, I think, gonna try to work you into an armbar. I think they're gonna try to put you in some hurt.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, or it's different names in different fighting styles.
Yeah.
I'm using what I've got in front of me here. But armbar, I think that's a body roll here. So I'm gonna make a body roll. And I clicked out of my character document because I'm a fool. I'm a darn fool. So I don't know what the bonuses are yet, but let's just see if they're even needed. Let's just see. Oh, they're not needed. That's a 3. So that's for sure a botch. Which this is a wrestling move. Rolling plus body on a botch. You botch the spot. Your opponent describes how they counter you or save you from disaster, and your opponent gets to take control of the match. So how do you kick out of, or get out of the armbar, I should say?
If they go for my ankles, like kind of on the way down, would it be possible that as they landed, their legs kind of kicked up? Would it be possible for me to like grab their leg and like try and flip them the other way?
So what you could, so at this point they've already gotten you down, because like the last interaction we had,
Okay, they did get me down.
Pulled you down. So you are on the ground with them, but there are things you can do with that for sure.
Can I do a hammer lock?
Yeah, you basically you're turning their lock into one of your own, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm less familiar with a hammer lock, so
it's more that like I see that because I'm like trying to like visualize like where we are on the mat and how it's working, and I'm like looking down on page like 7.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I see.
And so I'm like, this one looks right.
So yeah, so I think you can use their momentum of trying to get you in an armbar to get some elevation up, and then start holding them down.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So that's the start of it. Do you want to parlay that? I think they're going to I think they're gonna roll with you. I don't think they have much against this at the moment.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do for are you gonna turn that hammerlock into just like body hits, or
I want to try and get them back up.
okay.
Yeah, so
you're
kind of
gonna
like
try to lift them.
yeah, like kind of get them in that, like from what it looks like arm behind them, and I want to kind of like lift them up so I can like kind of kick them back into the ropes.
Okay. Go ahead and we'll see about doing a lift roll. That's for sure gonna be body. It might be a feat of athleticism.
Okay. We will do
So
that.
depending on what you want. If you want this to be more of a match move, or you want this to be more of a crowd move.
Let me see what I'm doing. Okay. Let's have this be a match move.
Okay.
Actually, audience. Sorry, I changed my mind. Audience.
Absolutely. Okay, so this will be an athletic feat.
Okay. That's body, right?
Yes.
Okay. Rolling.
How'd you do?
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh no, that's not good.
It's not.
So one of the things that we have so far not actually done yet is, and it's not helpful right here, but well, it's fun. Any players that aren't currently in a match can be announcers. This is up to you guys. You can actually narrate and give color commentary to the fight between us. And if you do that, you actually have a special move you can give to one of the wrestlers in the fight, where if, say, Hawk rolls a 6 or Gun Show rolls a 6 and you want them to get to a 7, you can actually hype them up extra and they will get a +1 instead of using the momentum to get a +1. So there are in-world benefits.
I have heat.
You do have heat.
That makes it a 4. It's still a failure, but at least it's a 4.
You have a lot of momentum. You use
I do.
momentum, not heat.
Well, but I have the heat as like +1 against Gabriel because he's my competent, old
So you're not
rivalry.
fighting Gabriel.
Gotcha. Yeah. You're not.
I'm
Fighting.
sorry, gun show. A gun show.
Good show. Okay.
Is what I meant. They both start with G and they're both highlighted in dark colors. Sorry.
You're good.
So again, still, it only makes it a 4, but and granted, I could also be reading heat wrong.
I think. So no. So you do not spend heat during a match. You can spend momentum to do that, though. And you
Okay.
have a shit ton of momentum. You could.
I do.
Technically, you have 5 momentum. You could technically turn this from a botch to a success. It
Okay.
is up to you
I think-
completely.
I think I will do that. I will use one of my momentum.
So
And
you would need 4 of your 5 momentum. to take
okay.
it from a 3 to a 7.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a huge spend, but you could
It
do it.
is. You know what? Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
We'll use the 4 of them.
Spending 4 momentum, cool.
Get them
So-
erased.
On a 7 to 9, it's a cool move, but you show the strain. So you do it, but it hurts.
Yeah.
You have to forfeit your next scheduled match while you recover, or someone steps in to cover for you, and you pull it off with their help. If it's another player wrestler, they gain +1 momentum.
Yeah, we'll do that one then. Yeah, I'll tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who steps in? That's the question. Enzo, is it one of your people?
I don't much like that one. Why would I help him?
That is true.
You're right.
I think the only person that could would be Rimita,
Ramita,
at least
could,
from what I can see.
especially if you're trying to get them to work on a face turn.
And also because they have sung my praises, they would kind of potentially be in my favor.
Possibly. Ramita, what do
Yeah.
you think?
Let's go for it.
Yeah? So Ramita
Yeah.
comes in, rushing in. Ramita, what do you do when you get... How do you help out with this?
Come rushing in.
So they are currently
kinda
lifting somebody. They're trying to lift somebody over their head to, I believe, throw them, right? Or does it slam them down?
So it was like I bring them up, and then I was gonna push them into the ropes. But I realized that there is a height difference here that I can use to my advantage. which would be that I kind of lift them up and then kick them in the back of the knees and bring them to their knees.
Okay, so you bring them to their knees right as Rimita comes in. Rimita, you got somebody right at face level with you. What's
Elbow
that?
to the face. Just
Elbow to the face. Okay.
Yeah.
like sprinting in and just like jump at it.
So I will let you choose. This is for sure a wrestling move, right? This is for sure a wrestling move. Is it a technical? You're a technician, right? So this would probably be a technical move.
Yeah.
Or is it a body move? Because that changes how you roll.
I think this one would probably be a technical.
Okay. So go ahead and roll work, which should be your technical skill. You're also subverting what the audience expects by coming in and helping a heal.
A 5 and a 1.
That's a 6.
And my work is +2.
That brings you up to an 8. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you keep their attention. Choose whether to hand control over the match to your opponent or gain +1 momentum, and gain +1 momentum or retain control. So you land the elbow, but now either Gun Show is going to get a chance to respond, and you'll take 1 momentum, which is a useful thing for later, or you can retain control and take another move.
I will retain control. And let's bring this dude's head to my knee.
Okay. So let's so usually when these are sort of 3 move setups, right? We can do head to knee immediate. But like in most fighting, there's a little bit of a, well, in this game, there's a little bit of a setup usually. So, and you are working with somebody to ensure their success. So
Okay. Then
is there a way you can help set up Hawk to get that same type of a move?
I could gut check. Like punch in the gut.
Okay.
Kind of help bring him down. Get him like staggering to help.
Yeah, I think Bree takes a punch to the gut, and does actually shove you. I think as a reaction, they shove you back into the ropes. Hawk, how do you use this to your advantage for something here?
What we're gonna do is, if they're in the ropes, that is a great question. So they are in the ropes, though, right?
Rimita, I should
Rimita's
say,
in the
Hemlock
ropes.
is in the ropes.
Okay.
And Gun Show is currently, you have just kicked out their legs, and then Rimita elbowed them in the face and punched them in the gut so they double over even more.
Okay.
So you could take a jump, do some flying maneuver, you could bounce off the ropes, you could do a number of things.
Okay. I think let's do some leg work. I'm going to kind of like push off from their shoulders since they're kind of like bent over, push off on their shoulders, kind of put them in like a thigh twist of some sort. And like, just kind of like, oh, how do I want to go about this? Again, so sorry, haven't watched a lot of wrestling. I feel like that's the real research I should have done.
You can do like an ankle lock, where you lock up their legs.
I think I'll do that, where I kind of like twist around, grab, and just kind of almost hog tie in a way, but like just grab their ankles and like hold them up.
As they're stunned on the ground here, you go ahead and grab them and get them locked up. So yeah. And I think let's go ahead and make I think that's technical, so I think that's a plus work roll.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do that.
Ooh, 6 and 4 for 10.
Ooh, a 10. The crowd pops as you nail the spot. You can
Hell yeah.
retain control and you gain a momentum.
I will do that then. I need all the momentum. Okay, so as I do that, kind of like as I'm in that hole, just kind of like, we're bringing him down.
So yes,
Got it.
so I think at that point, you are working the crowd. So let's go
Alright.
ahead, roll to work the audience.
Okay. That is a 4 + 1 for a 1, and that's on a work roll, right?
That is plus audience. So
Oh, plus audience.
plus audience is your wrestler's popularity and how much the viewing audience reached from 0 to 4. Which I think y'all have like 1 or 2 audience.
Okay.
Make sure.
So it says that we start with +1.
You start with +1. So yeah, so then you've got +1 audience.
Okay, so that makes it a 6. And I think I'm gonna immediately use that momentum to make it a 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So remember, in this game, failures
I feel like
also can help the plot. You're
that's
very
true.
allowed. And actually, you know what? Ignore me for now. We're good. So I think you absolutely work the crowd here.
Okay.
So on a 7 and 9, they play along. You gain, you gain back the momentum you just spent. But the good news is, on a botch, you wouldn't have been able to work the audience again this episode. So you still have that ability. So that's actually a
Oh
pretty good
gosh.
botch.
Okay.
But what happens now is Rimita, I think, is running in. And you two work together to finish off Gun Show. How do
Hell
you
yeah.
two work together for this?
Thinking since we're both little people, sounds so wrong. Shorter, on the shorter side. One of us goes for the legs, and the other one kind of jumps off the back and brings the head down to the ground.
I was thinking something very similar, so yeah, I got you on that one.
Amazing. I think since officially we did have Hawk booked to win this, I think Hawk gets the head, whereas Rimita is in the helper mode, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's see. I just want to check something real quick. I'm looking, I think. Okay. So technically there is a way for you to work with an opponent to showcase an innovating or exciting maneuver that requires both of you, and it says roll plus heat with them. I think that's the scenario here.
Okay.
You two have at least 1 heat, right?
Yes. Don't we start off with like?
Because you are opposing. Because you're a heel and Rimita is a babyface, you start off with 1, and then you also have that connection where you look up to Rimita, and Rimita, like, kind of
talk you up. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you should
You up,
have
so you
plus
both
2
have
heat
2.
with Rimita. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Because that's what I thought. I was like, I know I got Gun Show and Rimita for heat, so
you're gonna go ahead and
yeah.
get a plus 2 to this.
Okay. Don't mess up. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus another 2 is 8.
8, absolutely. Awesome. So tell me how, what the finish of this match looks like.
So it comes off where, like, I'm holding the legs, and I call Rimita over, and I'm like, take this. I gotta take out the trash. And so Rimita will, like, hold the legs, and I'll do a maneuver where I kind of run. I'll hop onto Hemlock's shoulders and then go in for a kind of like a dive where I go in on like the back, and I'll just kind of like pin him down with like a smash maneuver of some sort. And just kind of pin him down until game's over, because there's no ref.
Absolutely. Yeah, you take him fully down. And at that moment, you know, you hear the announcer, and it looks like the gun show has been canceled. All right. Wait, while we clear the trash out of the ring, we've got an interview with Aiden Wynn. And you see Aiden Wynn, the previous champion, in like a full body cast and a wheelchair on near one of the entrances of the ring. And
Rough, buddy.
There's a mic in their face, which they can't hold because their arm is like stuck up here, right? No, I think they're holding it in their offhand because their arm is up here, right? And this league is full of cheap cheaters. We're gonna come down with a holy vengeance upon the enemies. Monster, as soon as I get cleared, you're gonna be in one of these. Legally. It's gonna take every ref in the building to keep me off of you.
So at that point, I would actually like to have one of my goons come up if there's just, you know, a casually placed set of stairs close by.
Oh no. Oh.
And just like release the brakes
Oh my
on
god.
that
Oh wow.
and
Okay,
start the
so-
rollback.
Okay. So this is, I think, okay,
It's
so
not
you have to
even
roll a
legal.
run-in move here, or if you have an interfere manager move that that leans towards this, I would be happy to work with that. But I think this is a technical run-in move, right?
I don't know whether or not my meal ticket move would work. When you interfere on your client's behalf to win them a match, roll 2d6 because this isn't really a match.
It's not, but it is pretty
It does
close.
keep him off my client for a little bit longer.
Let's see what the benefits are real quick. Anyway, so you said this was meal ticket. You interfere with your opponent, still wins.
Plus 10, you pull off their book to win. Choose whether you gain what audience or my client does. On a 7 to 9, the ref notices the attempt.
Oh yeah, no. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay. And I do the combination, correct?
The combination.
I add up the dice.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't. Okay. I need my phone so I can send this to you because I kid you not, I'm not fucking lying right now. I got a 10.
Okay.
I am sending this to you right now. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Dude, this is
So-
mad mess.
I think
Yeah.
you get to choose whether your audience gains or whether you gain +1 audience or your client does. Which I think would be the monster here.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be the minion that you've sent over, right?
No, absolutely not. He is working for the betterment of Gabriel.
Yeah.
Or they are.
So yeah, you see the wheelchair. It starts careening down the ramp, right? And actually goes out of control spins sideways and topples Gabriel out into the audience, showing his weakness, and gaining support for the monster. So in this, it does say you're booked to win. I'm calling that encounter a tiny match, is what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Because we don't really have a match currently booked between these two to win. So this is, I think, the best in between of those without booking.
It's keeping
to win a
him
match
off.
That they're not in later.
It's keeping him out of the roster for longer.
Yes, absolutely. Aiden Wynn is out of commission again.
Really, he should have just stayed at the hospital.
Jesus Christ. And you see there's like, I do think they take out, I will add one more stipulation. There is like a ref that tries to stop them, and also gets crashed into and shoved into the audience, right? They take out a ref on their way down. And then we fade out of that interaction.
Hemlock's just going to be shaking their head like the state of things.
To a
I'm
backstage
the worst.
pre-recorded vignette. This vignette, we look in on a backstage like changing room, pre-prep room. Hemlock, what does your pre-prep room look like? What sort of decor is there? Is there a stage? Is there some sort of like a Poison Ivy vibe to this? What?
I would honestly say it's like very minimalistic, but like everything is like quality made stuff. So like the chair is like a solid wood chair to sit in, and there's like some weights to get pumped. Like not a lot of stuff, not a lot of decor other than like a couple flower pots here and there. Yeah, really like handmade type things.
Okay. And you see that Hemlock is reading a book. It's probably something wrestling related, but it could be something else. What do we think Hemlock is reading? Or are they reading? Maybe they're faking it?
If Hemlock's reading, it's going to be probably a wrestling magazine, like getting into it, seeing what's going on.
Cool, yeah.
In the world.
The Wolf Weekly. And you see they are on the cover. I think Hemlock, it's maybe a previous week's. It's not, they didn't have the latest issue with the monster taking down Aiden. Otherwise that would have been the cover for sure. But this was a previous issue, and they're reading up probably on their next match is what I would say. And you see a tall drow woman enter the screen, and puts a nice neat little vase of white bat flowers on the little, like, I assume there's like a little windowsill next to, I assume it's like a little reading nook area with a weight enclosure.
Yeah.
Right? It felt very cozy. And you can, I think she walks over and will kiss Hemlock on the forehead.
Hemlock just looks up and like eyes just full of love, like puppy dog eyes, just immediately. Like every other time you see Hemlock, it's like on the brink, it's, you know, tough, stern, but then it's just completely different person.
Buddy.
Like, thanks, honey.
I want you to be safe out there, remember?
Anything for you.
No, I'm serious. There are bigger things than this fight. If someone like that monster tries to break you, you get out of there. Our family needs you.
They won't break me. They won't break me, sweetie. Trust me. I survived this long. I can survive some more.
And I think there's something falls in the background. I think they both look up. What's that? And the camera does not show what it is. Instead, we look away from the vignette as the entrance for Fight 2. As Rimita is currently in the ring, they're actually helping clean up. You see Enzo takes back the mic. And we'll say actually they're going to use some of that audience that they gained, if it's all right with you, Enzo, to book a match between Rimita and Gina the Stapler.
That was a rather wonderful show you put on out there, but, you know, fighting for somebody else just doesn't get you anywhere in this business. So how about we give this a try? And I'm just gonna he'll raise up his arm, and Gina's Colin is gonna play.
Absolutely.
Try and take this one down.
Awesome. Yeah, there is for this this fighter, Gina the Stapler, there is fireworks, there is commotion, there is smoke. They step out from the haze, and it's literally person in what is the closest non-approximation to Batman armor as possible, but wielding two staplers, two swing lines right there. If it's enough to get a company burnt down, it's good enough for a wrestling match. So, you know, and they are going to take a run into the ring, and I think start with momentum. I think as they jump up, dodge into the ring, and are gonna shoulder check Rimita immediately. Rimita? So it's not
Hemlock's
yet
gonna
that you have, I should say Hemlock. It's not that you have narrative control of this, but what is your reaction to getting shoulder checked?
Just take a step back, hands up, like I'm looking for a clean fight here. Like, we may be fighters, but we don't or we may be fighters and we may be against each other, but we're not trying to kill each other. Just like,
well, you know what? They are going to immediately use a move here. They're gonna go ahead and use the move rules. What rules? And try to break the rules of the match immediately.
Damn.
God.
Which they're gonna have +1. You know what? Let's use this in this here. They're gonna have a +1 on this, as they actually try to bring in both staplers to just thwack you with them. Right? Okay.
I'm gonna try and distract the ref a bit on my end. I've stayed out here.
Okay. So that is an 8. You get away with it, and gain +1 momentum, or you don't and gain +1 heat. I think with this, they get away with it and gain +1 momentum. So I think you're thwacked with staplers to start this match.
Hemlock's reaction is going to be, I know I'm old, but I didn't think I needed a facelift like that.
I almost feel like that's cheap heat. That's a cheap laugh, easy, right? That's got to be an audience thing.
Yeah.
So 1 second, let's cheap heat. Insult or praise the audience or their hometown. It's not really, but I like it, so I'm gonna call it cheap heat if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
So you gain +1 momentum from that quip.
Cool.
And because they took the momentum and the benefit, that last one, I'm going to say you can go ahead and take narrative control of the fight if you've got something you want to pull off.
So I'm thinking Granny's gonna use the rank like springiness to try to like jump back and spring forward onto the face of Stapler and go for the hemlock headlock.
Okay. I think as you bounce back, they're going to... yeah, I think it is one of those where you bounce off each side first, right? So I think in the middle, they try to clothesline you, which is kind of hilarious for a halfling. But they try to clothesline you or take you out or trip you or something like that. And you are able to dodge that and jump into the hemlock headlock. Go ahead. I think this feels like a technical move, right? So go ahead and roll work. Once again, any wrestlers who aren't fighting can be announcing and can give a benefit. So, Bright, if you want to be announcing, I know Enzo sort of has a slight role in this, but...
I mean, I am sitting on the sidelines heckling the entire way.
I was
absolutely.
about to say, yeah, Hawk will be like, well, there's no downsizing here. Hemlock always has the advantage. You know, they'll slip it into anything as long as they can get it up. That sounded horrible.
That sounded great.
Hawk is a very interesting character now. Wow. All right.
I
did not
didn't
expect
mean
that.
it like that.
They will slip it into anything if they can get it up.
Please cut this, Tony. I don't want this. Never mind. I take it back. Cut this.
We're keeping going, Bright.
If this gets put in the recording, I will never forgive you.
It's fine. I've done worse.
What sucks is like
No, I'm
my
playing.
audio went wonky, so I missed all of that.
I'm so glad you did miss
you're
that
better
because
off.
that was
It's fine.
horrible.
The worse, the better it is, though.
Yeah.
No, this was so bad.
I'll DM you.
But it's okay. All right.
Please do.
No.
So, absolutely. So you did you roll for plus work for your headlock?
Yeah, I got a 5.
Oh no, that's not
Yeah, and that's... Yeah.
good. That means you've
It's a botched toe job.
So I think you sort of jump up to go in the headlock, and I think Gina the Stapler starts flipping, starts going into a backflip. Like takes that momentum of you grabbing up here to try and get there, and is able to move their body up and over, and take that momentum across the ring with you. And they're going to set up a move here. What's that like, Rimita?
The fall? I would say like grab onto the face and then just like face plant into the ground myself. Just like
you've not
slip
hit
past.
the ground yet. The move that they're setting up is about to happen, but if you want to hold on to try and grab onto their face, that's totally viable.
Okay, face hugger it is.
They are going to go ahead. Oh, and I've lost one of my dice. Oh well, I have a lot here for that reason. They're going to go ahead and probably use... I assume that that's a work roll. But you know what? Yeah, it's a work roll. Ooh, that's not good. They are going to spend one momentum to make that a success. So, that is on a 7 to 9. You keep their attention. Choose whether to control hand control the match to your opponent, gain one momentum, or retain control of the match. So, what they actually are able to do here is they're able to, with the rotation, sort of your hands on their face and their like top of their uniform come off, and they are actually able to flip you up and over and put their hands here and slam you down with their body basically on yours, land on top of you, smash you into the mat, as it were. I think at that point, they're going to try and swing you around. They're trying to pick you up and spin you. So they're going to try to grab you by the ankles.
Okay. Granny's gonna pull a breakdancing move and like try to do this spin to get on the feet. Like
Okay.
pull the ankles out of the way, you know, like the
So you're gonna try to like, I think like the only things I can think of are snake twist or cat's tail twist. Neither one's quite right, but they both got the right idea. I think where you just like doing this thing, right?
yeah, kind of avoiding the ankle grab while also getting back on my feet.
So they are going to end up getting the ankle grab, but I think your movement does take them a little bit off balance, and they are going to tumble and use that momentum to try and throw you across the ring, which I think is a body move for them. So we'll see what we do with that. What's up with that?
I will say I'm imagining the stapler going against Rimita, and they have like those tiny mini staplers just for Rimita because they're halfling.
Because they're
That's all I've been able to envision
honest,
this whole
Enzo
time.
pays for the big good ones. Enzo pays for
like
the
the
good
like the
ones.
big
Like the
industrial
heavy,
like,
There's
the
none of
the
those.
heavy ones, the heavy like black ones. See on like every
Like I
teacher's
feel like it
desk.
would be a great insult. Like the stapler walks on, has the big ones, and then just like sets them down and takes the small ones out after seeing Rimita walk out.
Yes.
That would be hilarious. Absolutely. I wish I had thought of that, but I didn't. So here we are. So this is a botch for the stapler.
No, buddy, don't do that.
So you are going to get to counter.
Okay. Granny's counter. Let's see. I think Granny's probably going to go for the legs and try to grab one and like sweep the other, like knock the knee, get them to fall.
Okay. You're gonna sweep the knee. You said.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Sweep
so
the legs.
Help me understand this real quick, because they're trying to tumble and throw you, so they're rolling.
Oh,
over.
okay.
So
Okay. Never mind. I forgot we were in the middle of that move.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't get the throw off. So if you want to do something in the middle of the tumble, you could maybe try and cut their legs out from under them so they never end up actually getting their legs under them to throw. That could maybe work, but I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page.
What if Granny like hooks the mouth and like pulls back somehow, like grab by the ankles and then like reaches and pulls
Okay.
away to get them like?
Yeah.
Would that
I
work
think
from that
you
angle?
Got the going on right for a minute, and I think they do grab you from the back and pull you over. What is the move you'd like to is there a wallop or is there something you'd like to roll on here?
I'm kind of thinking get a hold of the face and use the momentum they just gave me to try to...
So you want to try to
Flap.
flip them over?
Yeah.
That's for sure a body
Or at least
roll.
get them on the ground. Okay. Come on, don't fail me.
Say, unless you want it to be an athletic feat, which it could be, absolutely.
That is an 8.
So before I say anything here, do you want it to be, and it's the same roll, so it doesn't really matter. But I actually think this might be an athletic feat instead of a wrestling move. I think this is you showing off how strong you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the audience, as opposed to doing damage to your enemy, right?
Yeah.
I also have the downsizer has something that they could contribute kind of as they're commentating
Okay.
as well. It was just gonna be like, doesn't matter what size you are, you can bring down anyone if you're tough enough.
Absolutely.
So I got to make every single small joke I can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are no little jokes on the, you know. All right, that was... Oh, God, that joke is much worse than this. All right. Wow, halfling humor is wild.
Oh my gosh,
All right.
It
this
is.
is wonderful.
All right, so on an 8 on an athletic feat, it's a cool move, but you show the strain. So you gain 1 momentum, and you forfeit your next scheduled match while you recover, or once again, someone steps in to cover for you.
Let's see if someone will come in to cover for me. Let's try it. Unless no one is offering.
I got this. You came in for me. I came in for. I'll go in for you.
Oh, and it's turning into be a wild tag team go at here. With these two have formed an unlikely alliance. We'll see how that turns out tonight, but for now, they're just wrecking the pack. All right.
I think at this point, Enzo's going to most definitely disappear backstage.
Absolutely. That makes sense to me. So, I actually... Yes. Okay. Yeah. I
Like
will say
doing the whole trying to be sneaky thing, but most definitely somebody caught him on camera doing it.
not yet. Not yet. But yes, I know where you're headed. I think we have one more thing to set it up. But yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. So Hawk comes in. Hawk, how do you help out your halfling compatriot?
Yes. What's the positioning? Just so that way I can reimagine it in my mind.
So positioning at this point is Rimita is trying to pull them up and over. As the person has them sort of held out in front of their face, they're trying to grab and yank over and flip them. It could be as simple as like shoving them from the bottom. So that
that's what I was thinking.
Started. Absolutely.
I'd like to kind of just like grab him by the bottom of the feet, lift and push over, like one of those, in a way.
And the announcer that was working with you that you left goes, and now as a tag team, they're a holding. God, that does not sound great either, does it? But anyway, here we are.
You're the worst.
They went from being half a person to a full person.
They're
Oh my
each a
gosh.
person, but
It sounds so bad, but I personally think it's genuinely hilarious because of how bad it sounds.
And that's like what wrestling is. It's like,
It truly is.
it sounds so terrible, but that's what makes it great.
Look, this promotion is here not to be right in anything, but to get you to be angry and get in the comments. So get in the comments.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Oh goodness.
yeah, that had to be kept up.
Yeah.
We
but,
broke the Tony.
We did.
I think the Tony broke himself at this point.
Yeah. Rimita, I think there's a moment where you've pulled off the thing where you have a quiet moment. If you would like to work the audience or cut a promo here, there's a moment to sort of flex and talk about how great you are and your dominance and that sort of stuff. Would you like to take that?
Yeah, let's do a promo.
Okay. Do you want to actually roleplay it, or do you just want to roll it and we can make it up?
I'll roleplay it.
Okay. Go
If my
ahead and the dogs were hyping
Sorry.
you up for this promo.
They're paid actors.
Yeah, he is.
The dog was a paid actor, absolutely. By
He's a
Enzo.
professional.
A professional.
Oh God.
I hate
That's
everything.
worse. All right.
You know who my husband is. Listen, that's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Hemlock, how do you cut this promo? Talk to us.
So it's gonna be like a lot of talking up. So it's gonna be like, I may be small, but I can take out any one of these guys. Just because they're taller than me doesn't mean they're stronger, doesn't mean they're better. I've been fighting my whole life. This is something I've always wanted to do. So I'm gonna win. I'm gonna take the championship. I don't need cheats. I don't need extra tools. This is gonna be my bare hands.
Okay. Go ahead. Do you think that's a work the audience, or do you think that is cut a promo? Because that might be working the audience. But you do speak your mind. So I could go with either. It's up to you.
I'm thinking promo because that seems too to me it seems too random for it to be getting the audience riled up.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and make a look roll.
Aw, shit.
How'd that do? Oh, you have a negative, don't you? Amazing. So
Oof.
on a botch, it doesn't connect. You gain 1 momentum, and I get to take a hard move.
I have a lot of momentum now.
And
Well,
my hard move is that Enzo gets an idea, and Enzo gets a vendetta. In fact. And so
now I get to go backstage.
Now, yeah. Absolutely. Let's so we'll have you have control of the match in your hands. Obviously that didn't go as well as planned. I think but there was a second, so you didn't cede control of the match there. I think it is time to try the finisher here for the match. What are you looking to do with the finisher, and how do you try to pull it off? Is it another tag team effort, or is it Rimita going off by herself?
I think it'd be Rimita going off by herself, trying to take out one leg, give them a dead lead, basically.
Okay.
Go to the side
so
and
are
just
you trying to actually break them?
Not
Really
break.
Punish them for coming after you with that stapler?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Not trying to Destroy the leg, but
you're gonna injure them, right? So
So that's going to be a plus.
Interim
That's
enough.
going to be a real roll, because you're breaking what's called kayfabe.
I think I should just stop rolling.
Oh
Oh,
no.
honey.
That's a 5.
Oh no.
Oof.
How much momentum do you have? Because you can add momentum to that roll to make it a success.
Oh, okay. Let's add 4 momentum then. Make that an
Okay.
8.
Gotcha. Okay. Actually, that's not break kayfabe. So, you know what we're gonna do on a reel? On a reel, you are going to take and drop an elbow on the back of a knee. And there's a crunch. As you have hurt this person, but they came at you with an actual dang stapler, and it's a problem. And I think that is where we're gonna take a quick break before our third act of the show. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, welcome back to Breaking Character, Rimita in the Ring. We are refreshed, ready to go for our third act. To catch you up, just in case you didn't notice what happened probably 30 seconds ago in the video you're watching, but we'll recap anyway. It's fine. Rimita and Hawk have, for the second time tonight, teamed up in an unlikely heel babyface duo. Villain, good guy working together because there are real crooks in this ring. I think that makes Hawk a babyface now, but I'm not sure. They could always make a heel turn. But as we fade out of Hawk and Rimita beating up on the stapler, we have a moment where we fade to a camera backstage. And you see shadows in a hallway. One larger, and I actually haven't verified this, but I'd say slightly portly. The others, thinner, bulkier, maybe a little bit taller. Walking down the hallway, you can see, obviously, the portly one is in charge. There's no denying that. And you see an arm point. And you hear Enzo's voice. That's the room. Let's get him. Enzo, you want to take it over from here?
Yeah, I think at this point, these two have made themselves very irritating. And only one of them has a nice, soft little target I can use. So I'm going to use that.
How do you go ahead and do that?
I think that Mina, wasn't it?
Mira.
Mira?
Mira.
Mira, wasn't
Mira.
it? Mira's gonna go on a little trip with me and my boys.
There is a close-up of Mira cleaning up just a little bit around that backstage area. And you see out of the darkness a hand reach around, and as they get pulled back into the darkness.
I think this little alliance of yours comes to an end today.
Yeah.
Better yet, how about my monster put an end to it for you?
And in the background of this backstage camera, you just hear a very deep and then I think we
Fade to black.
Yeah, we fade to black. The lights come up in the ring as you see Enzo, the monster, and an interesting thing.
Gun Show, who is now a heel, has been walked over to the dark side. Gun Show is carrying Mira over their shoulder as the monster leads the way. As Enzo actually leads the way, the monster second, making sure nobody messes with either of them. Walking to the center of the ring, a spotlight goes and a mic is pulled down. Enzo, would you like to set up our final match?
Now we all know my boy is the best we've gotten this ring.
Oh.
No matter how much you plebeians seem to want to boo and holler and sneer. One thing we can't abide is a couple of little upstarts. And he's going to go ahead and point out towards Rimita and Hawk.
I think there is Rimita.
Or like the backstage.
I think there is a spotlight on Rimita, who is at one of the other entrances, currently being held back. Would Rimita make? I feel like Rimita would yell out, right?
Oh yeah, Rimita would be going buck wild, like biting anyone trying to hold her back like that.
Yeah. There's currently somebody holding Rimita back, Hemlock back for the moment, but not for long.
Yeah.
While Enzo finishes
his dastardly villain speech. Let's face it.
Yes.
I love playing the villain. Playing the villain's so much fun. Anyway, couple little starts. Getting ideas of grandeur. You've seen how we've dealt with the others.
In the background, you'll see Gabriel just who's hype manning this.
He's just here. He's a beautiful boy. He don't talk much. He hit things. I do the talking. It's fine, honey. What's even better is like, as I don't want to like pull the curtains back on people, but like behind the scenes, these people are fucking phenomenal. They're just like the best of buddies, even though they're shitting on each other.
Ollie.
Gotta make people pay for that show, baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway. So how about this? I'll even make it interesting. You get your girl back, if you can beat my boy. And if you can't, well, I say your careers end here.
Only a weakling would resort to kidnapping.
I think at this point you will hear Gabriel, who I will say at this point you realize there has been a costume change for Gabriel, as they are wearing a what to breaking character viewers would be recognizable leather spiked jacket. You know what? I'm so confident. Here's the thing, if we win, I'm gonna keep your little pretty thing. But if we lose, I'll give her back. And you can have my favorite jacket.
My name isn't Hemlock because I'm the deadliest one here. Good luck with that.
And they're gonna sneer at you.
Yeah. I think that's an acceptance of the terms, correct?
Sounds like it to me. And at this point, I think Enzo, it turns out the mic also has like a belt hook for a harness. And
I'm gonna not be here no more.
yeah, yep. The jacket
Hi.
is
Just
removed.
like floats off the ring.
Stick with me here. Stick with me. Stick with me. Yes, we're getting there. The jacket is pulled off of Gabriel, and an adjoining collar as well. Because you gotta accessorize. And also Mira is handed to Enzo, taped up and tied up as she is, and
Definitely struggles with holding her.
a little bit, yeah.
She's a
Wiggling
tall,
around.
beautiful woman.
She's a tall, beautiful woman, and Enzo is a weak bitch.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I
She's like
shock.
wiggling around. She's like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
And it's a clip to the harness, and they ride up. You'll have to come get them.
It may be small, but that height's nothing for me. It's nothing I won't do.
All right. So, I think this is going to start our final, what I'm actually going to call a tag team match. Originally, I think it was going to be some sort of like a Royal Rumble type thing. But it's turned into this interesting tag team match, and I love it. So, let's go ahead and get that going. But first, let's set the scene a little bit, I think, here. Let me crank up our music even more. There we go. That should be better. One second, we're just gonna turn this up slightly, get the mood going. All right.
Get it going.
You hear the announcers. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone anywhere in between, we don't care what you've got going on. You want to watch this. Tonight, we've got a fight of the vicious versus the ruthless. The breaking versus the come up. You can't wait for it. We've got in one corner the combo of the most dastardly fighter we have on the payroll, Gabriel the Fallen Angel. Fighting with a newbie who's definitely ready to make him bleed. That's right, Gun Show is coming to town. And they're locked and loaded. On their way into the ring from all over, we've got the Downsizer. And their new partner in crime, an unforeseen partnership, but one that seems true down to the marrow. But watch out. It'll get you if you're not watching. The Downsizer is walking in with none other than Hemlock. They say when you back a fighter into a corner, they fight even harder. But when you take everything they got, there's nothing that can hold them back. So now, tonight, it's a no holds barred, no DQ match tag team for the life of a loved one. Ladies and gentlemen, we may need a moment of silence for this one, because it's about to get messy. All right, how do our fighters enter the ring?
Just with swag, honestly. Just like, I'm coming in hot. I fucking hate this. And you know what? You see the turn in Hawk's face of just like, you know what? I may hate almost everyone here pretty equally, but I hate those two more than anything right now. And I'm going babyface on this one.
There is a bonus you actually. Or
I
there
was
thing you
looking
actually
at
get
that.
for switching from heal to babyface. So,
Yeah.
what is that by the way?
It's a face turn. When you switch roles, and gain +1 heat to whom you turn on or away from.
So, who becomes your enemy? So that means you gain +1 heat with, I think the monster.
Yeah, because I already have
'cause you were a
+1
heal.
heat with. Because I already have +1 heat with the gun show.
Gun show.
So
You know what? I'm actually going to say you get +1 heat with both of them. I think you get it with both of them. Because
right.
we're ramping this moment up. I also am going to say, Hemlock, you are also going to gain +1 heat. Because if there isn't any other time, like, they've kidnapped your wife.
Is
If
that both
doesn't-
me and or all is? Because like I'm not technically a part of this, but I can interfere. So maybe.
I think it's the whole crew. The whole kit and caboodle. All of you are gonna get +1 heat here because everything just cranked up. Like if that's not an escalation, I don't know what is. There's not a rule here that tells me I should give this out, but that's a gut feeling, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like sometimes you don't need dice, you know. Sometimes you just don't need dice.
Yeah, especially with the story you brought in.
yeah.
Partially me, partially you. It's teamwork. So, all right. How do we get this amped up fight kicked off?
I want to knock him down a peg.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
That's a great question.
Because that means you've
Nut
got to
shot.
come in hot, right? Nut
Yeah.
shot?
Swing it. Just go for a shot.
Honestly, I think I just gotta
Double nut
go
shot.
in. But if we want to go nut shots, we can.
This is wild. Okay. Go for it. I mean, I think that's a real roll. I think that's trying to really injure them, which is okay.
Yeah.
But that is for sure not a like a in the ring try to knock them out move, right? That is a
No.
try to hurt them and their future generations.
Yes, 100%.
This motherfucker doesn't
It's
deserve.
showing that they
Do we
made it
add
original.
it? And then, do we add heat to this roll, or no? Is it just when you say okay?
I think you do.
Okay.
I'm still a little bit wishy-washy on the rules of heat, but we're playing in the end game now, so it's time to just go with it.
All right. I rolled 2 2s plus 2, so that is a 6 total.
Okay.
Rolled a 4 and a 1 plus 3. So
wait,
8
were you
total.
both trying to hit? So one of them does not have nuts to hit.
Then I guess we're going
Were
for.
you trying to double team hitting the nuts? Because that's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, we can. And just
Okay.
yeah,
pop them like.
go for it.
This is absolutely wild. Okay.
I mean, I could go for like PT Cruiser Double Bruiser style, just kind of go for the knees on Gun Show because I got
There we go. Okay, so this is work real stiff.
personal beef with
This is
them.
the role I
more.
meant to do earlier with Rimita and the knee, but I couldn't find it in here because I wasn't quite used to it. I knew there was one, but I couldn't, so I worked. So this is work real stiff.
Okay.
When you actually want to hurt your opponent, roll plus real.
Okay.
So on let's see, you said Rimita got a 6. No, who got a 6? Hawk got a 6.
I got a 6. Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Okay.
I know.
Hemlock. What was your
think-
roll?
It was a 8.
8. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you get to pick one. It does hurt you though. On a 7-9, you can injure your opponent. I'm going to get rid of this second one because it doesn't apply here. It says the match is booked to end in a no contest. Your opponent loses one audience as you break the illusion of their toughness, or you gain one audience as the audience can see you're a legit badass. While you think about that, Hawk, on a botch, this hurts you. You're gonna take an injury.
Okay.
On your sheet, there is a box for injury, and there might be a section that tells you what happens when you take an injury.
When you get injured, check an injury box. When you're injured, you can still wrestle, but creative will not book you to win. If you win a match anyway, you gain +1 heat with your opponent. So I'm marking an injury.
So I'm gonna say that you, instead of doing something, utterly atrocious here, I am going to say you roll an ankle here, which is something
That's
you can
valid.
fight through, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna make things easy.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
And
Hemlock.
But I
think-
do get momentum, don't I? Because I botched it.
This does not say that. No.
Okay. Good to know.
Hemlock.
I'm thinking he loses the one follower. Would be the best option.
The one audience.
for this.
'Cause you wanna
Yeah,
break the
losing
illusion.
the one audience.
So, there's a slow motion moment where you sort of rock power slide in, just right, fist up, and you hit the monster. It's not a full connection; it's a glancing blow, but the way they sort of cover up makes them look real weak. And the audience goes, "What? That hit? Okay. All right. Weird. Whatever." And they lose one audience. So, I think at that moment, because of the rough combo, I think you both have lost the momentum, or the narrative control, I should say, of this fight. So what's going to happen is, I think the monster, Gabriel, I keep calling him the monster, the fallen angel, Gabriel, is going to grab Hemlock, and Gunshow is going to grab Hawk. Both, I think, by the top of the head. Yeah, and they're gonna pull them around. You both have a chance to react to this before they do a combo move here.
Mm-hmm.
As they sort of swing you around by the hair.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, one of the most common sort of wrestling moves is to grab the hair, or grab the hand and pull yourself there so that it's not
Yeah.
hurting like that as
Well,
much. So
I was about to say, I have personal experience with this. The best thing to do is bring Knuckles down to break it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the... That's a legitimate thing, by the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the wrist.
okay, so do you have a momentum?
I do.
So if you would like to spend a momentum, you can do this, because you can use one momentum to interrupt this sequence, and gain control of the match. Otherwise, they're in narrative control. So you'll need to either roll with or sort of work with that.
I think I'm going to save the momentum because I spent so much already. And I'm going to let it happen. Which I don't like, but I'm going to do it.
So there is, I mean, you can try things, they just won't be successful in this moment, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to grab wrists and just kind of like help like brace so that way it's a little less on my head and a little more on the rest of me.
Rimita, what about you? Are you doing somewhat the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. not much we can do in this situation. Maybe try to like kick a leg up, see if she could hook it and koala onto the arm, but that's the best.
They are going to roll plus body, and not too terrible here. They're going to successfully pull this off, but they are going to lose narrative control here. So what happens is, as they've grabbed you by the hair, they swing you both around back into each other. So you both have clocked into each other. And it's your turn.
Resets my ankle. I guess, unless you have something, Rimita.
Which, and
What
you
is
don't
an
have to work in
advanced roll
tandem. You can
option?
do one by ones.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's sort of interesting to do the tag teams together, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking like the best option would be to try to get momentum going and do like another one of the jump things, but instead of going for like a headlock, go in with the double leg kick. So like spring off this and then into the back, if possible, or back of the leg, whatever would be easier to reach.
Okay. You want to try to run around and kick out the back of both of their legs, or the back of the the fallen angel's legs, or?
Let's do the fallen angel's legs, just like one of them.
Okay.
Can I help with the other one?
Yeah, you can try.
Kind of seeing
to
the
take on
opportunity.
both of them. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and I think that's sort of a tag team type role. I'd say that's either work or you can roll that's hot tagging. That's not really but yeah, I'd say that's probably work
Okay.
for each of you.
Okay. 8.
Okay. Hemlock, what was yours?
It was a 10. 6 and 2 plus 2.
Okay, here you go. So I think this is a wrestling move, Hemlock, or a fighting move, I should say. The crowd pops as you nail the spot, Hemlock. You get to retain control and gain 1 momentum. However, on the other side, I think because your partner is retaining control of the match, so you can't give it away, I do believe that Hawk does not gain 1 momentum from this. They're successful, but they don't gain a momentum. So both are knocked down to half their size. They're at face level now. What's the next step in this master plan of taking down the monsters?
I would think dragging them down to the ground and trying to pin.
You think pin?
Or do you think they're not weak enough?
I think it's pretty early.
Yeah.
Pretty early?
Yeah.
So maybe just smash the head into the ground then, since they're like head height. Use that to get a little bit of a smush.
Are you trying to actually injure them, or is this a wrestling move or a show of force?
I would say show force.
Okay. So I'm gonna say at this point, we'll go ahead and start doing these one at a time.
Yeah.
Because it just makes this game a little bit more fluid to do so. Because it does. We just ran into the issue of like, oh, give up momentum but keep momentum. Cool. What do we do with that?
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So Rimita, since you've got the momentum, I think, you can do a show of force. Go ahead and roll plus body. Which one of them are you taking on? Excuse me. No.
That's a 2.
Oh no. You get to take an injury. I think in this fight, I think Hemlock breaks a finger. It's rough.
Ooh.
It's bad.
So
Just got like caught in the hair and just.
Basically, yeah. I wasn't gonna narrate it too much just in case, but yeah. So that means that I believe the monster Gabriel, the fallen angel, has control now.
real quickly.
Yes.
So these advancements, right?
Yes.
As you meet the qualifications for gaining an advancement, you can bank them, correct? Because one, our audience has fallen to 1 or to 0, so that's an advancement. Your audience falls to 0 for the first time in an episode.
Oh, yeah. That absolutely is an advancement. Yeah, I think you get to do that.
Then there's also the fact that I now have a new client, question mark?
I don't think that is an advancement here. Unless that was your want, was to gain more clients.
No, there's literally a gain a new client for my advancements on
Oh, I didn't realize
the manager.
that. Well, this is getting weird. You're getting 2 advancements, I guess. This is what happens when the game master doesn't know what.
You're good. So I'm gonna spend both of those really quickly.
Okay. You gain advance for each trigger as you hit it. So yeah. You absolutely get to.
So I get to pick. I can either gain 1 audience, which would just undo the minus audience that they did.
Yes. One of the things, though, if we were playing more than a one-shot, which we may come back to this game later, 0 audience at the end of an episode means you get fired.
Yes.
So, it may not matter, but if you're willing to take the hit, you could sacrifice your job for winning. Depends on
That
what you and your character
I'm
want.
coming through these. Add a new MPW valet or enforcer to my stable, to my side. I could just casually bring one in real quick.
You could.
I think there's gonna be a little bit of interference.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think somebody's gonna come out and play a little bit of an interfering role, especially on the referee side. Like, I really don't like the ref out here. He could just go away, maybe.
Okay. So I think there is. I'm trying to figure out what their actual class is. Yeah. This is the Anointed, I think. I think
We're bringing
that-
Jesus?
Yes.
Evil Jesus.
Evil Jesus.
Evil.
I'm sorry.
But no, the Anointed is the next big thing. Someone backstage is putting all of their weight behind you. That sounds like one of your people, right? And I think the Anointed, because we took out the ref earlier, the Anointed has probably tied up a ref and put on the ref outfit.
Replace them.
Yeah. So I think at this moment, your anointed, who I'm gonna say is, you know what, Montaro the Grave Robber. Montaro. I had that right.
Montaro.
The anointed comes flying in. It's gonna be a wild time.
And I think his main purpose in this is just to interfere just enough to throw these two off.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do I Am the Future. This is a role that no, actually we didn't make a promise on camera. I apologize. Let's see. We won't let them do a fancy move just yet. But they are going to come in and I think immediately thump on Hawk.
Just accidentally, casually slam into them.
Oh, not accidentally or casually. The ref uniform, I think. Yeah, they're going to accidentally, casually, I think, trip Hawk as Hawk goes down, and you see the monster take a flying elbow on Hawk, just straight up come down. Hawk is hurting. Hawk is hurting rough.
That might be that's my second injury, I believe.
It's not actually.
It does result in one.
Actually,
okay.
I should roll probably because they are.
Yeah.
This is turned into a real fight here. So rolling plus real.
Are we allowed to bite in real fights?
I
mean, there's
you
no
still have to
ref
roll for it. So yeah.
Cool. Just want to know for future reference.
Yeah, it is a. No,
I was just gonna start
DQ,
biting
no
people.
holds barred. So yes. But you know. All right. Oh yeah. Cool. So this is I'm gonna use the ability Shoot Kill. When you really go after someone in or out of the ring, you can roll plus body instead of any other stat. If the fact that you're larger and stronger is appropriate in that situation. So that's perfect here. Especially since they have +3 body.
It's good. I'm strong. I'm good.
Cool. That's a 12. That, yeah.
I'm strong,
So-
I'm good, you're smushed.
Like a little bug.
So,
Like a bird on a windshield.
so I think they're gonna gain
Damn.
one audience back, and they're gonna injure you.
Yeah. That's two.
Because the combo of not wanting to lose their job and also wanting you out of here is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good time. I will say, at that, I will say that we'll tag team over to, why did I blank on their name?
Gun show.
Yeah, Gun Show, who is going to go ahead for Rimita. I think maybe just to, even if it's just to like hold over Rimita so they can really wallop on Hawk. I think they're doing sort of a put them in like a hold type thing, right, where they're locking up arms and holding them there for a second.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Not a headlock.
Not a sleeper?
But closer to the boxing equivalent is like when they get
like
leaning on each other.
yeah, that
right?
one.
They hold each other's arms basically, so they can't swing at each other.
it's a time waster and a little bit of right. Like that's the type of move that we're talking about here.
It's theatrical.
Yes. Rimita, are you trying to spin out of that or get out of that?
Yeah, Rimita's trying to break it if they can.
So yeah, I think
Using their small stature, they're going to try to use leverage to kind of push off.
Yeah, I think Rimita is able to come up underneath, and pop it loose. The problem with that is going to be that that motion is going to get turned into an attempt at throwing you. This is what happens when you're small. The bigger competitors think they can throw you all the time. It's not my choice. It's just the assholes you're facing.
Yeah.
The best way to deal with little people.
Oh,
Oh, man.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh.
eat the baby.
All right.
Sorry.
I haven't heard that in
Part of the
so
reason I always play
long.
small characters.
I haven't heard that in
So I
so
get shot.
long.
I was so focused on something else, I didn't process it for a hot second.
Oh,
Wow.
that's good stuff.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and make a roll here. That is a 7, just barely. They're gonna lose momentum, but they are going to sort of, I think, toss you in the air. Actually, no. I think it's actually more of they pull up and then elbow as you're in the air and then thrown backwards by the elbow shove. It connects, it hurts, but it doesn't injure you. Rimita, you've got control.
Okay. So I'd say like Hemlock rolls into a pros and kind of cuts to try to go help out Hawks
Okay.
because Granny doesn't leave people behind.
So you want to try and take somebody out. Okay.
Yeah, since they're beating on Hawks on the ground, I imagine I can reach for the head. So I'm gonna go for a like elbow to the head kind of move.
So are you doing that on Gabriel, or are you doing that on Grave Robber?
Which is the one that's? Is it both?
They tag teamed for that hit. Grave Robber
Tripped him up.
Hawk down, and Gabriel went full flying on him.
Okay. Let's go for Grave Robber then.
Okay. And I assume you're working real stiff? You're trying to hurt him, or are you going for a wrestling move?
I mean, I feel like at this point it's good to just go for the hurting because that's all they're doing. Like they're not going to tap out.
It isn't all of what they're doing, but it is quite a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm thinking go for the hurt move.
Okay.
8. And is this going to be body?
Or
is it real?
It's real.
Okay, so that's a 7.
Okay. On a 7-9, you pick one. You can injure your opponent. The opponent loses one audience, or you gain one audience.
I'll choose injure on this one.
Heck yeah. I do think, especially since it's late game, I think this is super effective injury.
I'm sorry to say, Enzo, but your newbie is not up to snuff. How dare, indeed. How dare, indeed. I think Grave Robber. So I think there's a moment where you are running over. I don't remember what you said you want to do, but I have a pitch for what you could do if you're not stuck to your idea. Are you up for it? Or are you solid on what you want to do?
And are they
There's
thumbs
solid,
up?
I'm not sure which one that means.
Solid. Let's do it. Like, what's your idea?
Okay, what's my idea? Cool. So my idea is, we've got Grave Robber, right? I think that there is a comically placed coffin behind them, and as you run and kick them off the side of the platform, they land in the coffin and the lid shuts.
Yes. We'll go for
I
that.
thought you might like that. As Grave Robber is returned to the grave. Okay, it's back to a 2-on-2 match. And I think at this point, I think that Rimita probably retains control of the fight for the moment.
Okay. So with that, I'm gonna go towards. Okay, so Grave Robber's out. I'm gonna go towards Gabriel
Okay.
and try to go for like a wrestling move. Isn't there one where you can like grab their arm and they like get flung over, but you're not like.
Yeah, you can
They have to like play along with it.
Yeah, I mean that's wrestling. We're role playing that you guys are actually strong enough to pull off these moves. Let's be honest about
Okay.
this. I don't know that you are because the real wrestlers would tell me that you have to work as a team and there's a lot more skill and things like that.
There's a
Role
lot
playing
of
in
jumping
fantasy,
from the
so-
receiving end.
Yeah,
Yes, and
that's what I was thinking. I was like, they've got a little bit of a hop going on to it.
Oh, I know that for sure.
Also, Granny can lift like twice their weight, so I don't know how.
That's only like a third of the monster. I mean, what?
Mads is
Very
big.
true.
Big boy.
Okay. So, which one would you say this would be, since it's not really like a?
I think it's.
Would it be a technical?
You were talking about it being a wrestling move. You can, as a wrestling move, you can use body or work, depending on.
Okay, I'll do work with that.
One, okay. How?
Let's
do
do
you
9.
make it technical? How do you make it technical? That's the question.
I'm not exactly sure how it'd work in general.
So to give you an idea, leverage. Right, like you can trip anybody if you can get low enough, right? Like obviously they they have to not step over you, but
So like jump up and like grab the arm and try to twist with it.
that could
Maybe.
work.
Dead weighting also works really well with making people fly.
Yeah. So that's a 9.
Yeah.
Okay. On a 9, you can hand control of the match to your opponent and gain +1 momentum, or keep control.
Keep control.
Okay. You are also allowed to pass control to your friend. I know Hawk hasn't done anything in a little while. So if you would,
To be fair, I probably got like a broken rib or something at this point.
you are hurting pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I'm
so,
hurting pretty bad.
But I did want to make sure and let you know that is an option. Is you can hand control to a teammate. That's an option I just made up, but that makes sense to me.
Okay. I would say hand control then. Because I've just brought someone to the ground, so that would be where tag team's best. So, hand control over to Hawk.
Well, if that's the case, so Gabriel, the fallen angel, is fallen on the ground. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, rolling on the ground currently.
Cool. I'm gonna hop up on the ropes, and I'm gonna do a cannonball on this bitch. I'm sick of him.
Okay, they're gonna try and roll away. So go for that cannonball.
That is fine.
Are
Would
you
that be
actually
a wrestling move?
Are you trying to hurt them, or are you trying to? What are you trying to do?
Like, I have a vendetta, but I'm also like, now that I'm kind of baby facing it, I want to kind of take the high road and be like, I want to hurt you, but like, I don't want to like end your career or anything like that. So, I'm gonna like, I want to more just like kind of like pin him and like make him like put him in his place almost, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like hold him stationary in a way with a cannonball. But I'm the cannonball.
So you're
I'm
I'm-
cannonball.
I am the captain.
I
Look
am
at
the captain now.
Where's that from?
Captain Phillips.
Yes. But so up to you, DM. This would be work or body.
You know, one of the things you could do if you wanted to, because it sounds like you like the idea, but you don't really like the idea, right? Like,
I don't like having a negative stat. So-
I understand that. There's no way around it, really, in this game.
I know.
Yeah.
There is a babyface move that both you and Hemlock have access to,
Bet.
which you are able to spend 2 momentum and gain a heat with your opponent, leave your opponent speechless, make the creator book you in a match, which this is the last match of tonight, so...
Yeah.
Or expose villainous behavior to book a cheater to lose a match.
I want that last one.
Yeah.
I want to expose villainy.
Perfect.
And I have exactly 2 momentum to spend.
I love that. So here's what I'm going to make a deal with you. Because I love this idea, and I think this is a perfect way to sort of resolve this conflict to start.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a sacrifice.
I'm down for sacrifice.
Okay, it is going to cost you your last injury.
I will martyr myself.
But I think that you can use that injury point to take out both of them,
Bet. I'm in it.
leaving the way clear for Hemlock. So, what sort of cheating, how do you, it is a non-DQ match, so it is going to have to be some sort of wild backfiring Rube Goldberg scenario. So, how do we pull this off?
I mean, considering the scum and villainy just went up on the mic with their friggin' prize, their piece de resistance up there, of a stolen spouse wife. Assholes. You know, they're trying to pick on the little guy. We won't be brought down. They think they have dominion over us. They think that they know more, that they've got more, but the underdogs always got it. We can rise up to the occasion and we will bring them down. This is disgusting. They brought in a fake ref. What kind of bullshit? I won't stand for this.
You see the broken
Martyrdom.
Other ref from the crowd. Yeah. Get him.
And so it's just like, fucking shut up. From above.
From below.
Yeah. Drop him.
So,
All right.
So you're basically working the audience to do this. It's not really a work the audience role.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll for this.
Okay.
This is just something you get to do because of the way that is written. which is
Okay.
a little bit wild. But
Well,
let's
it
go
is
ahead.
2 momentum, though.
It is
Yeah.
2 momentum.
It is my last moment.
But I think we do roll either work the audience or cut a promo here, because you did for sure. Just to see what else we can uncover.
Yeah. I think in this one, since I'm kind of working the audience, I'm trying to expose this to them specifically. We'll do an audience roll. And that is, and there's no heat, no anything like that. That is a straight 6. Which stat is this? Is it work or?
Work the audience is look, I believe.
Work the audience is plus audience, actually.
Oh. How much audience do you have?
I was gonna say, I think we have 1, don't we?
You have at least 1. You might have 2. I did not keep track of that.
I did not either.
Nor did
so
I.
We'll say 1.
We'll go with 1.
Yeah.
Which still gets you a 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then I will erase my momentum.
The crowd plays along. So I have a very dumb idea, but I think it works.
Do it. I'm all about dumb ideas.
I think in this moment we see the true power of Hawk. Right? There's a reason why they are called the Downsizer. Because they take giant figures and cut them down to size, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I think there's a moment where they get furious and start pulling off shit. So 2 things are going to happen here. The first is going to be a wild ass karate chop that is going to you know what? Actually, I have a better idea. It is a wild ass karate chop.
Yeah.
But it reveals 2 things here. So the first is you are going to karate chop Gun Show.
Mm-hmm.
And their head falls off. You find out that Gun Show was not actually a real person fighter. Like they were at some point, but this Gun Show is
like
an
a cyborg?
automaton wearing like a synthetic skin to replace this person.
Liars! Liars!
And second, you go over to the monster and Scooby-Doo villain pull a mask off their face. So here's the question.
Now listen.
Who's underneath?
Oh, most definitely, I have been just keeping a fucking android there.
There's
no
another
way.
android? Okay.
Oh
So
no,
it turns out-
most 90% of the people that I brought into this are androids. I had to keep a couple.
You don't have the charisma.
Humans. No, I got the charisma for
Humans
days.
fail.
But humans are fallible. I only need to keep a couple of humans to keep up the looks. They're all robots. They're all my robots. Why do you think I was able to call him a monster and him not get pissed about that?
Then why'd the nut tap work?
I have no idea, bro.
It wasn't the nut tap, it was the reaction to the nut tap that worked. So
You right.
you pull this mask off the head of this android, and it topples as Enzo realizes it's done and tries to flee. And as he gets far enough away from the android loses connection to their sim chip and loses power. And it falls on you, Hawk. I think that's an arm break or so. Collarbone. Let's say collarbone.
Collarbone for sure.
Oh my God,
It
poor
sucks
Hawk.
and will put you out of commission for a while. But it's
But
not
not
fatal.
life-threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Correction, if you break it in the right place and it's
Yeah,
jagged enough,
but
it
if
is
you-
in fact life-threatening.
Yes, but this one is not.
Yeah. Clean.
I'm the
I'm
creative
sorry,
here.
do you listen, I broke my brother's collarbone and that's what happened. He had to sit in the fucking hospital for forever because I almost murdered his ass. Oops.
Okay. One, we'll have to talk
We're
more about that
learning
later.
things.
But two,
Yeah.
there is, I think, a second hook. Originally meant for the victorious monster. The fallen angel. As Rimita goes and grabs it. And there's a moment where Rimita is lifted up off the ground. They're probably 50 to 100 feet in the air of this metalworks. It's wild. And what is it like, Rimita, when you get within sight of your recently saved wife? What does that look like? What does that feel like?
It's going to be like this magical, beautiful little thing where like gets close and like grabs her and like she clings to him. They like Spidey slowly come back down to the ground, like all romantic and everything. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
Just like spinning, all the cutesy stuff.
So there is a moment where there is a freeze frame, and Rimita and Mira are floating through the air like they're in a goddamn musical. Full on, I think, making out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it's a cute peck. I think it's a like Rimita is all in, right? Yeah, sounds about right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Right, as they float through the air, and you see Hawk being loaded on a stretcher and finally getting some help. And you see Aiden in a second wheelchair, this time even more bandaged up in the back, with the one arm out of the wheelchair, like, yeah, that's it, let's go, right?
I'm booking it. I'm gone. Bye.
And
Just poof.
then there is a final vignette where you see Sasha, who is in charge of the whole league, pocket something. And that is where we'll fade out for tonight's show. Everyone got what they wanted. But
Except for Enzo.
except for
Fuck Enzo.
Yeah. Enzo the asshole. So, that has been Breaking Character for tonight. Our one-shot Rimita in the Ring, where we played a brand new system. Thank you so much to my players. Y'all have been awesome. Willing to try a system that I don't think most of you had tried anything like this. Some of you have tried some of the Powered by Apocalypse stuff. This obviously is very different from most all of the games that you've ever played. And yet, here we are on the other side of it, having a blast. So, thank you for putting your trust in me to lead you through that. Yeah. I hope y'all had fun. Before we head out, let's let people know if there is a place they can find you other than here. Because you can find everybody here on Breaking Character, on Roll for Respawn. You can find us right here on a myriad of shows, actually. So, Blood, where else can they find you?
I am a VTuber here on Twitch, though I am potentially taking the leap to PNG tuber. Who knows? Because I found a picture and I might do a thing. So I don't know where I will be on that adventure when this finally gets dropped.
Hopefully very far.
But yeah,
Hopefully.
And Bright?
You can find me here at Roll for Respawn. I will be here not every day this week, but I will be here a majority of the days this week.
There we go. You could only find them really here. Darkness?
I am the same as Bright. You'll only
Wow.
find me here on Roll for Respawn.
We got exclusives, y'all. People you can only find
Yeah.
right here. Me, you
Let's
can
go.
find other places, right? I'm on TikTok at Tony Will Edit. You know, when I have the energy to post, but most of my energy is into this show, as well as hopefully I'm still doing it whenever you see this, but the One Shot Wonderarium, where I get to play wild and wacky games that y'all have mostly never heard of. It's a blast, so you should come
It's
see
really
it
fun.
sometimes. Obviously check out our Twitch channel for that schedule. And in the meantime, actually, before I get there, just know that we love y'all. We're glad you're here. Thank you for coming out.